So right now, everyone is excited for Nintendo's next generation system and the Nintendo Switch 2, as Nintendo did officially tell us that they are going to do the reveal for their next system before the end of their fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, 2025. And as we're slowly approaching 2025 now, more and more information just starts to come out, as we've seen supposed images now of the Switch 2, and also just stuff coming out from like accessories for the system and things like that. But one of the things that people have actually been talking about a lot now is something that seems pretty much seemingly confirmed now, which is what the system might actually be called, as well as its logo, and it's actually created a lot more controversy than I thought, so I figured I'd talk about this and give you guys my thoughts. So everyone's been calling this system the Nintendo Switch 2, as it's obviously the easiest way to refer to it, as we're talking about a next generation Nintendo console. Nintendo refers to it as the Nintendo Switch successor, but everybody knows that it's probably going to be called something else, as even like with the NX, that's pretty much what we've been using to refer to that, as everybody just kept saying like, you know, here are the latest Nintendo NX rumors, or here's the Nintendo NX leak and stuff like that, until Nintendo finally did the unveiling, and then they announced like it's officially going to be called the Nintendo Switch, and then everybody started calling it the Nintendo Switch, which is what we have now. So we're kind of just calling it the Switch 2 until Nintendo tells us the official name, but now it looks like the official name might actually just be Nintendo Switch 2. So lately, we've been getting a lot of information about the Nintendo Switch 2, and on Christmas, we even had these supposed images come out from somebody who claimed to have access to the system, and there's still a debate going on as to if these images are real or not, but one of those images actually showed, I guess, the dock from the front here, where we can see kind of this logo, where they have just the normal Nintendo Switch logo that we have right now, a giant number 2 next to it, and then at the bottom, it says Nintendo Switch. And the thing about this is that this was something that we've heard about for a little bit, that this is actually going to be the logo for the system, as people who supposedly have information about the Pro Controller and stuff were even saying that that's exactly what the logo looks like on the Pro Controller. And so we had kind of somebody make like the official version of it right here, and so we can see that this is kind of what it looks like. Everybody right now, in terms of credible leakers and rumors and stuff, are saying that this is really what Nintendo is going to have as the official logo for the Nintendo Switch 2. And so we can see right here, Central was even talking about it, saying Pyoro. If you guys remember, Pyoro was the person who was leaking a lot of the information about stuff that is going to be inside of Nintendo Directs and things. And so he's been a known Nintendo leaker, has also confirmed independently from his sources that these images for the Switch 2 logo is in fact the real one. So I think he said that he had like a Japanese source and he was able to verify with them, and they said that it looks exactly like this as well. So this really seems to be kind of the logo that Nintendo is looking to use for their next system. Now, if you've been keeping up to date with the latest leaks and rumors, then you've probably known about this for a little bit, that the next system might really be called the Nintendo Switch 2, and that Nintendo is looking for a logo that's going to be kind of similar to this, where it's just going to be like the Nintendo Switch logo that we have right now, with the giant number 2 next to it. But this was really kind of the first post where this information kind of reached like the mainstream Nintendo fan audience, and I guess just people who don't really keep up to date with the latest Switch 2 leaks and rumors, because Central Leaks does have a very huge audience. They've got over 500,000 followers here, and this post itself reached like 4.2 million views, and so a lot of people started talking about this, and it surprisingly created a lot of controversy as to people just being really upset over the name of the system. And a bit, if we scroll down here, we can even find some examples of people like this inside of the replies. So we've got somebody here saying, wow, I was kind of hoping that it would be something dumb and extra. I'm underwhelmed. Gonna say it, I think he's wrong. Switch 2 is such a boring and generic name. It's out of character for Nintendo. I think we all expected a bit more for the logo. There's even people here saying that it's going to be a flop, which is crazy. Somebody saying here, if after reinventing themselves every generation, Nintendo just puts a bigger screen and a smaller dock and slaps the 2 on the logo, this will be a bigger flop than the Wii U. Zero interest. This is somebody who has no idea what they're talking about, but you can see right here, a lot of people just really seem to be learning about this information for the first time. And it's kind of crazy to say these types of things, like if it's real, it's going to be the Wii U situation all over again. Like, it's crazy because this is really the type of stuff that I feel like Nintendo is doing to specifically avoid it being the Wii U. And I mean, it's just insane because it seems like there's definitely people now that are pretty disappointed by this. Was this a good decision by Nintendo? Regular people might not understand the difference. Very same, just as looking as the first one, kind of a letdown. The Switch 2 feels more like a Switch Pro. Switch 2 is such a bad name, so yeah, you can see right here there's definitely a handful of people that are disappointed after learning this information. Now, I really found the people who were like doom posting, saying that it's going to be like the Wii U all over again if they call it the Nintendo Switch 2 and it's going to be a flop, to be really funny, because it's obvious that Nintendo is probably going to be calling it the Switch 2 to specifically avoid it being a Wii U situation, because the name Wii U was such a confusing concept that it was really kind of one of the biggest problems with that system, as it didn't get the point across that this was a next generation Nintendo system, it was a whole successor to the Wii, and it was a whole brand new platform. And even like the first reveal that they did, they kept saying like, here is the new controller, play on the new controller, do this on the new controller, and it was just really weird because it kept making people think that this was a new controller and an add-on for the Wii, instead of saying that this was just a straight up brand new next generation controller and a next generation Wii experience. And I still fully believe that if they called that system the Wii 2, it definitely would have done better than calling it the Wii U, because it gets the point across that this is a successor to the Wii. And I feel like Nintendo is doing much smarter decisions now by calling it the Nintendo Switch 2 than calling it like the Switch U or something kind of more silly. So I feel like this is definitely going to get the point across. And I've said this before, but it really just feels like we're in a brand new era now of Nintendo under the leadership of Shuntaro Furukawa, and this is really going to be the first ever brand new next generation system that he's going to be launching completely on his own, and it's not going to be connected to Satoru Iwata in any way, because even though Iwata unfortunately had passed away when the Nintendo Switch had come out, he was still hands-on with the development and kind of the concept and everything of the Nintendo Switch when it had started with the NX still like back in 2014 and 2015. So even though the Nintendo Switch had been out and he had passed away, it was still connected to him. But this next system is going to be fully like realized and developed and concepted without Iwata at all. And I feel like Mr. Furukawa just seems to be much more of like a business and logistics focused person, where it seems like with the way that they're handling this next generation, from everything that we've heard about it, it seems to be much more calculated with how we're hearing about how it's just going to be simply called the Nintendo Switch 2. It's going to be something that's going to be significantly more powerful coming from the current Nintendo Switch, and we've never really had Nintendo putting a focus on power when we were with like the Iwata era, and how it's just going to be completely different. And I feel like maybe because of that, we might actually see some really good things, like maybe Nintendo focusing on the online and improving stuff like that, things that they've been so far behind in. So I'm really hoping for good things moving into this next system. And so I just find it really funny how there's actually people who are upset and angry that the next system is just going to be called the Switch 2. Like, you can go on Twitter right now and just type in Switch 2 name and scroll down here and you'll find like Switch 2 is the dumbest name ever, dude. Like, people are just not happy about this. And it's funny because like you've got this meme here that went viral comparing it to PlayStation, with how like PlayStation has just been going PlayStation, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, and that's all appropriate and it's all sweet. But then the second Nintendo goes Nintendo Switch 2, oh, that's when it's inappropriate. That's when we've all got to get angry. And it's just really funny, because I feel like Nintendo is actually doing the right thing here, making it very easy to recognize that this is in fact a sequel to the Nintendo Switch. And I mean, the fact that like kind of just the way that we're all kind of used to numbers nowadays, like you've got like the iPhone 14 and then the iPhone 15, and like it's so easy to know that like the 15 is better than the 14, like the iPhone 8 is better than the iPhone 6. And I think it's because of that like just having numbers makes it very easy to know like what's a successor to a previous system. So it just makes a lot of sense. But it's just kind of funny because of how like PlayStation has been doing this and everybody's like it's okay, but the second Nintendo does it, that's when it's bad. And I mean, I know Nintendo has had like really creative names, and I was really hoping that it might be something like that too with the system, that they might call it like the Super Nintendo Switch, or that they're gonna call it like the Nintendo Switch Advance or something. But then again, this is also a very safe option, and I feel like it's definitely better than something really silly that people would be very confused on. So I'm not really upset about this at all. But yeah, that is pretty much the controversy that has already kind of started from the fact that Nintendo might be calling this next system the Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about Nintendo's next system, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this. How do you feel about the possibility that Nintendo is gonna be calling their next system just straight up the Nintendo Switch 2? Would you be okay with that? Are you hoping for a more creative name? What do you think about everything? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.